Dun dun dun. 3, 2, 1, live. Hey folks, how you doing? Ernie here with PatternCast, and now BitcoinCast. And that's what this show's about. As you saw by the title, we're winning. First two Bitcoin trades are winners. Let me clarify that a little bit. The first trade. Oh, I hear. There we go. First trade was actually kind of flat. It didn't reach much more than 10% of the target. However, that's not a loser. So in trading, not a loser, not losing money is a winner. The second trade, however, that was a big winner. And let's take a look at that. That came out last night. I think we were right around, let's see, right around here, right around 1140, 400 or so when the signal came out, and targeting 11,058. And as you can see, we've blasted through that and reached all the way down to 10,744 for about $700. That's a nice trade. Now, of course, people reaching the target, I'm sure, would have been seriously considering exiting at that point, and I couldn't have blamed you at all. But the potential was there to make a lot more. Now, we'll do scans again tonight. There may be another scan. There may be another trade for tonight or for tomorrow. That'll be cool. So we're 2 for 2. Now, this isn't unusual at all. I mean, our PatternCast trades, our PatternCast trades, which trade futures, forex, and equities, have been doing spectacularly well as well. We had a trade this morning, as a matter of fact. Let me see if I can bring that out to light. That was the British pound to get in at 1.2059. Now, although we won't officially record this as a winner because price only came down to 1.2060. Missed by one tick! But, in most people's eyes, that's a good trade. So here is the chart, upper left-hand corner. You can see it right here. So you can see it came within one tick right there and reached as high as 1.2116. All right, so that sounds like about 50 ticks. 50 ticks on the British pound. The other trades, they never triggered. So we had essentially 4 trades, 1 triggered. There's still time in the day, but I don't think that the others will trigger. Oil took off, man. Woof! Well, anyways, back to Bitcoin, because that's the star of the day. So anyways, we had two trades here that triggered big time. I'm sorry, pound didn't trigger, came within 1 tick, but most people I know actually took that trade. But the Bitcoin trade definitely knocked it out of the park. I think if you took that trade and you were in an account like Kraken and maybe you had about $1,500 on the line, that one trade would have paid for a year of service. A whole year of these trades. That one trade would have paid for it. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, speaking of what the service is, the service is going to go for $12.95 for a year. You can only purchase a year at a time. However, until September 1st, you can get it at $350. So actually, I think that trade would have made more. You would have had change left over. And that's kind of an introductory price. I'm not really doing any spectacular marketing here. I'm talking about it a little bit on YouTube, and that's about it. We already have about 50 customers and just opened the doors on Friday. I think not only it's going to be what comes first, September 1st or 100 customers. If we get to 100 customers, I'm going to probably shut down that deal of 350. So if you want to get into it now is the time. Now is the time. So what is Bitcoin? What is PatternCast for Bitcoin? What exactly is PatternCast for Bitcoin? Well, PatternCast for Bitcoin is really nothing different than PatternCast for futures or Forex or equities, or PatternCast for predicting weather or predicting horse races or predicting sports, or PatternCast predicting anything. It's a pattern recognition technology that we've developed. It's been under development, actually, and it still is, for about 10 years. It's getting better and better. It seems to get better as time goes on. We introduced the service back in October for traditional markets, futures, Forex, and stocks. And we've and even there, we didn't really do a lot of advertising. Have a little over 100 customers over there. And we're just, getting our stride here, making sure everything's going right, making sure we're providing the best possible support, that we're completely transparent about everything that we do, that our trade room, our live trade room, is operated and giving the type of support people deserve before we wanted to move on. So now we have introduced PatternCast for Bitcoin. We introduced this back on Friday. A soft introduction, just kind of seeped it out there. Here it is. And we already have, I think, 50, is it 50 customers? I think so. Let me take a look at this here. 53 customers. 53 customers. Oh. Got to modify the lower third here. Bitcoin winners. And it is Tuesday, August 13th. There we go. Tuesday, August 13th. So the first trade was a long, and I had posted both of these trades as sort of a promotional thing on Instagram. And that first trade here, we were looking to get in around 11,300 and go to 12,649. And that's what you see right behind me right here. Right? But we only reached up to about 11,500, and then it started to go flat and just do nothing. And that was over the weekend. That trade would have been dead today anyways. Last night we put out another trade that said it looks like we're going short, and that's what this trade is right here. 11,058 net short. Now you'll always see something. This is how our signals look. It'll tell you whether we're short or long, and what the target is. We don't provide an entry point. The entry point is essentially when the signal is released. The signal would be released probably a few minutes after UTC 0.0000, whatever that is in your time zone. For me, that's around 7 o'clock at night. I think at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. But that's when the signals come out, and then that's what the price is. We don't put an entry because, quite frankly, PatternCast really isn't like that. I mean, we do provide entries for the other more traditional markets because that's what people are used to. But here we're going to say, Also, the Bitcoin trades, they tend to move. There's much more volatility in Bitcoin than any of the other traditional markets. I mean, it's not unusual to see a 5 or a 10 or a 15% move in a day, where if you had that kind of move in a traditional market, people would be running for the hills. But you see that almost every day. So we don't, we just provide, whatever the price is that we announce at UTC 0, and that's it. And then the direction. We'll provide. Now, this was a relatively rare trade. You can see we're showing. PatternCast found 2 occurrences of this over the past 5 years. Only 2, but it had a lot of high confidence in it, and both of those went net short and profited. That's what 2 out of 2 means. When you have 2 over 2, there were 2 total occurrences. 2 of them went short, and 2 of them won. Now, the one that we had the other day, on Friday, was a little bit different. See, this one was, there were 9 total occurrences that the pattern recognition machine found. 8 of them, if you went long, would have been winners. So that's how you read that. So there were some people asking, how do you read those signals? Don't get it. So just look for the net long or net short, and then you can look at how many occurrences. Even the number of occurrences shouldn't really mean much to you. I would like to have more occurrences, but that's not necessary. PatternCast is pretty damn good at picking out these winners. With the traditional markets, because we go back 10, 20, 30 years of data, we're going to get more occurrences. With Bitcoin, we only go back to about 2014, I think. So there's naturally going to be less occurrences. Every once in a while, we'll get as many as, 20 or 30 or more. I've seen even 50 occurrences in that period of time. But don't let that fool you. The number of occurrences, if there is a small number of occurrences, we're only putting that trade out there because it is a super strong predictor. And so far, well, we're 2 for 2 on these. We expect fully to have the same kind of performance that we had on, or we continue to have, on PatternCast for futures, forex, and equities, which is essentially about 70% of those trades that triggered. In other words, they come alive, they've hit their entry and so forth, reach about 70% of the target. About 95% of them reach about 50% of the target. So about 65% or so reach either reach the target or go beyond it. And in the regular PatternCast, we've shown that of those that reach the target and go beyond, they go on and go beyond, on average, of all the trades that trigger and we get into, on average, they reach 200% or almost 200% of the target. It's actually 184% of the target that we post. So on this past trade, the target was 11,058, a short, and we started at about 11,400. Now we've easily surpassed that and went down as low as 10,740. So approximately a 700-point move. All right, 700 points. So if you had 1 Bitcoin, you would have made about $700. If you had, say, $2,000 and you were on Kraken and you had 5 times leverage, again, you would have made about $700. Just to give you a gauge. Now, when you take our trades, you're going to want to be with an exchange that offers both long and short. That means that they have margin. And Kraken, for U.S. Traders, is the obvious choice because it's regulated, offers 5 times leverage. I know that there are others that offer up to 100 times leverage, and you can go and do that if you want. But those exchanges are not available to U.S. traders. And this isn't a service just for U.S. traders. Anybody can do this. I'm just saying, I'm in the U.S., so those are the rules that I follow. So Nathan is asking, if the price is going to continue going down, will another signal be released with a lower target in 1 to 4 days? If another signal is released, then that's the signal. Whatever has happened in the past, that's where we're going now. All right? And it's very possible that it could call out an even lower target and continue this going down, or it might show a reversal and be going up. I have no idea. All I know is that if a new signal comes out, that's where I am now. That's where I'm going. I'm with the new guy. Period. All right? Hopefully that there's no confusion there. No misinterpretation. Don't read between the lines, because there are no between the lines. If the new one comes out, that's what I'm going with. If the new one comes out, that's my new direction. Might be the same direction, might be a different direction, but that's my direction. That's how I would play it. And we give up to 4 days for any one of these trades to fulfill its destiny. So it's possible we could give a trade and then not have another signal for 4 days, or 5 days, or 6 days. Who knows? It's possible we might have a trade the next day. And then that would be our next trade. So that's the way it works. And the reason for that is that the market's changing all the time. The patterns that existed in the past are completely different for that next day because it's a different scenario. And this might be quite a bit different than the way you've looked at other trades and how other people have done things with statistical analysis. We do not know anything, or PatternCast knows nothing about statistical analysis. I'm sorry, technical analysis. Knows nothing about TA. No TNA. No TA at all. There is no TA at all incorporated into this signal. It is purely a statistical pattern that it is found with a high probability of reaching the intended target. And so that means that even the target isn't like a specific level. Like when other people are doing TA, they say, oh, well, here's the risk and reward. And they don't really know. They're just making it up. They are. They're just completely making up risk and reward. That is a made-up concept. I don't know. It just is. Just a made-up concept. Nobody knows where the risk is. It could go down there. It could go beyond there. And it's one of the reasons why so many people stop out of trades. So anyways, we just tell you that that is the mean level at which all the occurrences of that particular pattern that PatternCast found. You know, that's it. Don't forget to explain short BTC trades. Are they available on Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken? I already said that. How to trade shorts. You need a margined account. Kraken is one of those margin accounts. I'm not familiar. I don't have a Coinbase Pro account or a Gemini account. I have a Coinbase account, but not a Coinbase Pro account. I would imagine that they also have leverage. You need leverage in order to short. All right? Shorting Bitcoin is no different than going long. It's just that you press the short button. Now, what actually happens behind the scenes is a completely different story where you have to literally borrow Bitcoin in order to short it. But you don't have to know about that because they say, give us margin, we'll take care of all that stuff in the background. You just choose whether you want to go up or go down. All right? That's all there is to it. Couldn't be simpler. If you want to make it more complex, that's on you. Don't want any more questions about this. If the signal says go long, then you say buy. If the signal says go short, then you say sell. You click the sell button. Pretty simple. And it's that way with regular asset classes as well. If you have a stock brokerage account or futures or forex, they're all leveraged as well with margin in it. Very rarely can you get into an account that doesn't have margin. And if you're not in an account without margin, you're not going to go short. You're only going to go long. You're going to take it out of your cash reserves and pile it into there and hope that it goes up. But you need a margined account to do short trades. The only way around that is if you are doing options. But again, even with options, you require a margined account. So, that's that. All right, let's see. What else are we going to say here? So, go to PatternCast.com. I'll show you the website. So here's PatternCast.com. So when you get to it, you'll see how it looks. There it is, PatternCast.com. And you can purchase these right down here. Those are the traditional markets. We have a monthly, a quarterly subscription, and a yearly subscription. That's for the regular PatternCast. So if you trade those types of assets, futures, forex, and equities, there you go. This is a stellar service. And our new service, Bitcoin Signals, are here. Click here for more info. If you're not quite sure yet and you want to just sort of hang around for a little while, you can just, you click there and then you can fill out this form, and then we'll inform you of what's going on. Or you can purchase the signals. And then you click there. And there you go. You see right here? It says sale ends September 1st. It ends! It will not go on forever! This is like an introductory price. We would like to get that first 100 people in there so that we can improve the service before we start putting that big push and we get the next 900 people in there. And the next 900 are going to be paying a much different price than that $349. Why September 1st? Well, because I'm going on vacation. I always take a working vacation. I vacation on Martha's Vineyard with all the presidents. Fortunately, there won't be any presidents there this year. And so I won't really have a lot of time to devote to promoting the service. And so I'm providing the few people that hear me on YouTube or on my Instagram or other places, if they hear about it, they can come on down. They can be founders in this new service and pick it up for $349 for a whole year. And a few days ago, I had made an announcement. I said, look, if you get in at $349, if you get in early at this price, that I will, even after a year, I will grandfather you in, and you won't have to pay that other price, $12.95. And then I went back on my word, and I said, it's such a great value. How can I give it up? I mean, if you really value it, you wouldn't mind paying the $12.95, even if you were at $349 and you paid it a year ago. But then I'm talking to my partner. He says, you promised $349. You got to give him $349. He says, blame it on me. And I thought about it, and I said, he's right. The AI mentor is right. I did promise that if you get into the Bitcoin signals at $349 in this time period, that I will grandfather the price in from there on in. So after a year, you will never pay more than $349 a year. But requires you to get in by September 1st. All right, that's it. I can't think of a better deal. Just think, first trade, you pay for the price of the signals. And then every trade after that is potentially gravy. So now, after September 1st, the price is going up. this is what we'll probably do. We'll probably give people the opportunity then to become affiliates of this. And this is one way that we can sort of accelerate the number of people that we get in. So I think the affiliate program will be, if you refer somebody and they come in at the $12.95 price, you will get 33% commission. That means, man, at $12.95, 33% commission. What the hell is that? Holy crap! No friggin' way. Really, Ernie? $12.95 times 0.333. You'd make $431 if you referred somebody. So in other words, if you came in at $3.49, then you referred somebody at $12.95, you would make money on that deal. But that's also saying that the person that comes in at $12.95, all they'd have to do is refer 3 other people, and they would get their service for free. I like that. I like that. That's what we'll do. Crypto Tucker says, if it works, I'll give you a bonus. That's great. Well, it's already worked. So if you want to give me a bonus, that's great. If you go down below in the description, there is a Bitcoin address. I really appreciate that. Thank you, man. Crypto Bacon says, Ernie, how do you track your gains and losses from your trades? Do you use a service like coin tracking or accounting? What we do is we will create another section in the results column. So you see that results tab up there. And these are all the trades that have happened in the other PatternCast service. And you can see there's a lot of them. There's 15 pages of them. And it shows you exactly when that came out, what the trade was, what our entry was, what the target was, what the max move was, etc. And so that shows you all the trades that came through. I think that if you look, some of them were 0%. That means that they never made it above 0. And you could download this as an Excel sheet or whatever and do your own calculations and see exactly what the performance was. But I'm telling you right now, I already gave you some of those stats at the beginning of the video if you missed that. We'll do the same thing for Bitcoin. Once we have a couple of months of data, then I'll put it up there. But I'm going to be announcing this stuff. I'm going to be talking about it just about every day. And you'll see. I'll say, oh, we had another trade. It did this. It lost or it won or whatever. And you'll see. And you can follow it. I started that way with the original PatternCast service way back in, I think it was January or February of 2018. And I started giving the trades out for nothing and just throwing them out there in my Discord group. And I think I gave away about, 50 or 60 trades, of which 92% of them were winners. And people were like, this is amazing! Amazeballs! And then in May, someone stole my identity and then removed my YouTube channel and disrupted my business, and I kind of went into hiding for a little bit, had to try to recoup and rebuild everything. But then in October, we reemerged, and I said to my partner, I said, look, we got to take this service. People love it. Let's put it out there as a service. And all these people that had been following before were like, yeah, we're going to just jump. They jumped right on. Why would they give that up? They just jumped right on. They said, yes, we're in. And so since October 4th, we've been doing this service. And in the past couple of months, I've been telling my partner, man, we could do Bitcoin. Bitcoin would be unbelievable because the volatility in it. See, one of the problems with traditional markets is there's some volatility, but not a huge amount. And what's great about our system is that it can find the volatility in sub-markets within the market and always find some good trades, and that's how we get these fantastic results. But with Bitcoin, there's volatility all the time. Even when there's low volatility, it's like 3 or 4 times higher than the highest volatility of the regular markets. And I thought, man, that would be awesome, because now we will have another service where, it's obviously alternative markets. It's growing. It's becoming more mature. And everybody knows that I am a Bitcoin contrarian. I do not have anything against trading Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, I love trading Bitcoin. I am just, I am very critical of people who overhype it. And I don't let my opinion just wash over people. I jam it down their throat. But that doesn't mean that I don't believe that you can't make money trading. As a matter of fact, I think this is a fantastic trading medium. All right, so yes, we do track everything, and we will be putting stuff up. We need enough data before we start putting it up on the web, but it will be under that results column. Gareth says, yeah, $349, it is awesome. Great signal, by the way, made 15% on the last call. That's awesome. I love that. I love that. Made 15%. What the? Oh, also, I am trying my best not to swear, because I have got a sailor's mouth, and I'm sorry about that. I'm going to really try hard not to yell at anybody, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold to that promise. That's why I'm saying I'm only going to try. Please explain what exchange you use to short and what amounts is safe dollar-wise. All right, so I'm personally using Kraken. All right, but I want you to know that the signals themselves, when we feed that data into the PatternCast engine, we're not taking one particular exchange. We do something very similar to what the Chicago Mercantile Exchange does with Bitcoin futures. They use a something called the BRR, the Bitcoin Reference Rate, which is an aggregate of many exchanges, and it's put out by a company called Crypto Facilities. And they have a proprietary way that they aggregate a bunch of large exchanges. I think they use 4. We also use 4 right now. We may add an additional one, where we've chosen 4 of the biggest exchanges out there, and we aggregate and then volume weight it and weight it in other proprietary means, because Bitcoin data is kind of sketchy. And so the more data we can get in from multiple exchanges, and because every exchange is a little bit different, we get a good data set. And then that's what we actually do the analysis on. So although the spread between all these exchanges is really, really small, we can't say that, well, the price is going to be this on this exchange. We don't know. So we just give whatever our median price is for that aggregate. It should be within less than 0.25% on whatever exchange that you trade on. And if this were traditional markets, that would be a problem, because 0.25% can mean a fairly big chunk of a trade. But because we have this volatility, 0.25% is nothing compared to when most of these trades are moving 5%, 10%, 15%. So you see, it's not a big deal. And it's really the only option that we have, because you can't go to any one exchange and say, that exchange is the end-all to be-all, because it's not. So we have a proprietary way to aggregate a bunch of exchanges, and that's what we do our analysis. Well, that's what PatternCast does, its analysis. All right, and what amounts is safe dollars-wise? Now, I can't tell you that. Now, that's one of the reasons why we have the trade room. We talk about these types of subjects all the time. Also, if you go to my YouTube and other videos, I have tons of videos on controlling your risk and many other trading topics. There's a lot of videos back there. I wish I had my old channel. I had over 1,100 videos. But I've got a nice cache of videos now. Let's see, how many do I have? How many videos does Ernie have in his YouTube channel now? How many do I have? I have... Is it not going to tell me? About. Does about tell me how many videos I have? It doesn't. But I'm going to say that I have... Oh, you know where I can go? I can go to... here. I can go to YouTube Studio and look up how many videos I have. How many videos do I have? I have 265 videos. No. How many videos do I have? I'm going to say I have about 300 videos. There's a lot of videos. All I can say is there's a lot of videos. There's a lot of videos. There's a lot of content there where I talk about many different aspects of trading. That's what I'd say. And I would say, go there, you're going to find something. Okay. Enough of that. Well, thank you, Iceman. I will enjoy my vacation. This will be, I think, the 29th year that my wife and I have gone to Martha's Vineyard in the summer. 29 years. Whoosh. Nathan saying, after the first 100, the price should go up. Reward the early movers. Yeah. So that's why I think that whatever comes first, September 1st or 100 people. If it's 100 people, then I'm going to stop. I'm going to say, up. But I might be on vacation when that happens. So we'll see what happens. We shall see. But after 100, that's it. That's the cutoff. Or September 1st, whatever comes first. All right. So if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. You can, down below, there is a link to our Discord server. And if you want to come on to the free portion of that, there's something like, I don't know, 1,300 or 1,400 subscribers in there. There's lots of people on there talking about trading all the time. They may even be talking about the Bitcoin service or the other PatternCast services. And so at least you can feel like you're part of the crew. You get to talk to some of the people and ask them. Or you can go up to the website, up to the testimonials, because there, we have nothing but 5-star reviews. Is there any monthly scheme? I'm not sure what that means, Debraj. What is there any monthly scheme? There'll always be somebody there for you to talk to and ask about the service. And we have a very high attention rate. In other words, a very high number of people that stick with the service. Very few people. The only people that have ever given it up are because it wasn't what they expected, or or they don't have the time to trade, or something like that. But nobody's left because the service sucks ever. As a matter of fact, some people have. I think I've heard, some people will say things like, "The service is unbelievable, but I can't trade. I've got to work." The monthly cost. There is no monthly cost for the Discord server. You can go in there for free. The Bitcoin service is $349 right now until September 1st for a whole year. So you can get in now and for a whole year, and then you'll be grandfathered in on that price after a year. So to get the next year, it'll only be another $349. But that's only for these first few 100 people that come in, and then that's it. I'm asking if there's any monthly service. No, there is no monthly price for Bitcoin at all. There is for PatternCast. It's $199 a month. And I'm constantly putting out deals. It wouldn't be unusual to get it at $149 in a month, and I may do that deal when I come back from vacation. But it's $349. It's a yearly price, and then after September 1st, it's going up to $12.95 for the year, which is still a friggin' bargain. An unbelievable bargain. After maybe two or three trades, you've already made up the cost, and then you've got a whole year to go for other trades. So then there's that. All right, any other questions? Any other questions? Oh, by the way, in the trade room, we do, not every day, but almost every day, we have live sessions where the AI mentor gets on, I might get on, and we talk to the group. We take all their questions, we answer them all, we provide some insight on the service, insight on trading. It is like getting your own mentor with this service for a ridiculously low price. And I would encourage you to take a look at these testimonials too and see what other people have said. Crypto Bacon, how much time would someone have to invest since we are just following your calls and don't have to stare at charts all day? Do we pretty much place order and sell limits? Is it set it and forget it? Well, here's the thing. Everyone has a different style. Some people I know with the original PatternCast service like to set up all their trades the night before. And it depends on the size of your account, your appetite for risk, your tolerance and capacity for risk. It depends on your style. If you want hands-on style, hands-off style. So it's not something that I can just tell you. And if you're a new trader, at the price that this is, it's not going to cost you a lot to learn, right? Maybe trade paper trade or do simulated trading for the first couple of months and get used to your system and your platform and learn it, understand how to do proper execution, and then when you're ready, then commit real money. Coco wants to know, how much BTC do you suggest for the trades to be worth it? Well, at 349, I mean, it's almost like you can trade any amount that you want. I mean, you could start with $100 worth of Bitcoin or $500 or $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. A lot of people start off with this just to learn how to trade because it takes away all the analysis part, and all you have to do is concentrate on your risk and your execution. And that's a huge, huge weight off of people's shoulders because now they can start developing confidence in how they're doing their trading, and then when they get better, they can get a little bit more advanced. To begin, again, you could begin with as little money as you want. As I said, if you had $2,000 of Bitcoin or $2,000 in a Kraken account, and you took the trade from last night and took that short, you could potentially have made about $600 or $700 off of 2,000. That's a pretty good return on your capital. But with most, because it's a cryptocurrency, I think most exchanges will allow you to trade very, very small amounts, or you can trade very big. So I don't think that that's really an issue, unless I don't know what your limits are, Coco. I don't know if $500 is your limit, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000. I don't know what your limit is, but to be worth it, well, I guess over a year you'd have to hope to make more than $349, or whatever your goal is. Is your goal to make like crap loads of money, learn how to trade, make money consistently? Roll the dice? I don't know. DeBrage says, in your last YouTube, have you given any signal? I think I have missed. How am I going to know? We've only given 2 signals so far in the service, and that was on Friday, and then the other one was last night. The one on Friday was kind of flat. It did get about 10% above the time that we gave the signal. So we look at that as kind of a flat trade. Maybe you might have made a little bit of money, maybe not. And then last night's trade, well, I think it, well, you can see. Let's see, where are we here? So last night's trade, you can see where the target was. Oh. You can see where the target was right here. We got in right around here, around 11,300, 11,400. It dropped all the way down and went through the target and went down as low as 10,744. So that's about 700 points that it dropped. Now, it's recovered a little bit since then, but it's still well below our target. Looks like it did about 150 to 160% of the target. So, Coco, if you got $7,000, that's more than enough. I mean, I would be concentrating, if you did this service, concentrating on shoring up your trading acumen, your ability to handle your platform and manage your risk, and just trade a small amount. And then when you get good, then increase the amount that you want to actually commit. But as I said, in the trade room, we talk about this stuff all the time. We push out onto people this kind of tough love, you know. A lot of people ask us all kinds of questions about their trading, and we try to be straight with them. The great thing about this service is that unlike traditional TNA, which is really not the way most pros trade. Most pros trade with signal generators and keeping in mind what the statistics are. That's the way we trade. Everything is a statistical probability. And so it's a completely different way of thinking. And that's the way you should be trading. All right. So again, take advantage of this $349 for an entire year. Take advantage of it now. We're going to be introducing an affiliate program where you can make back virtually all your money, and then even make, if you can bring in 2 people, if you bring in 1 person at the other price, you'll already make your entire year back. If you bring in 2 people, you could actually turn this into a business. And make a crap load of money. Man, I mean, if you brought in enough people, you could start making yourself a 6-figure income. Do you plan on putting a cap on the group? If the group gets too big, can't somebody game the system? That's always a problem. We're pretty sophisticated about how we keep track of things and people. We will be, if it gets too big, I'm not sure exactly how many we can handle in one room. I'm going to say probably 500 or 600 people. If it gets beyond that, I expect it to get beyond that. I think then we'll start splitting it up a little bit and then start doing some what we call A/B testing, so that we can monitor, smaller chunks of the group. This is all behind the scenes stuff. You don't need to know about it. But to answer your question, I don't know what the cap is. Could be 1,000 people, could be 5,000 people. I just don't know. If we get to that amount, of course, we can hire more people to monitor it. We can hire some professionals to give us advice on how to best split up the groups and make it fair for everybody and keep tabs on everything that's happening. We're not there yet. We just introduced the damn thing Friday, so we'll see how it goes. We have the same plans for the other PatternCast service. We're working with the broker, and they're going to start introducing it to their people, and then it's going to get bigger from there. So one of the reasons why we started small was so that we could monitor things like this. See, the other thing is that we reserve the right that if you buy this service and we don't like you, we'll kick you out if we think that you're going to be a problem. And that's not only for our benefit, but it's also for the benefit of people that are in the service. We only want good people. It's as simple as that. All right. I've been talking for almost an hour. It's about done. I want to thank everybody for showing up here. Please like this video. Smash that like button. Hit the notification bell. I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin trades. Well, definitely all the way through my vacation. I'll be here. I bought this Osmo, I think it's called, and it's a gimbaled holder for my iPhone. So I'm going to be doing a lot of outdoor vlogs, so to speak. So I'm looking forward to doing that over the next few weeks as we're on the beautiful island of Martha's Vineyard. So everybody, thank you very much for showing up. Please also share this video. Put it into your social media and share it out. Tell people about it. Start thinking about how you could actually make some money on this deal just by selling our service. I mean, a 33% commission on a high-ticket item is damn good money. You wouldn't have to sell too many of these before you start making some serious cash. All right. That's all I've got to say, guys and gals. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Oh, got to find the off button. Where's the off button? There it is. Adios.